Something real heavy has been on me like this morning. Not sure why, but I just feel like I need to speak for those who may be unable or don't know how to speak for themselves. Don't blame the child. Don't blame the child. You can't even blame the adult that had experiences as a child that led to where they are and how they think, how they respond, how they act. There are so many secret stories that people may have that they may never discuss with other people, but then what they don't realize is these stories that they have, these experiences that they have, actually shaped and formed the person that they are. And in a lot of cases, what happens is we get to see the person that has covered so many wounds, and we don't understand why they're responding the way they are responding. Don't blame the child. There are a lot of things that I pick up on, a lot of things that I see, and one of the main things I tap into when I am working with people, when I am counseling people, is where they come from, what happened to them when they were young, to kind of give them some direction as to why they respond and why they act the way they act. And it also gives me a sense of patience to be able to be gentle with them. It's easy to tell somebody that they should get over something that happened in their childhood if you never had to experience it. You know, you weren't there when that man was touching her inappropriately, which made her promiscuous throughout her years, throughout her days. You weren't there when he was the child that had a different last name and the father really wasn't his and he was adopted in. All his life he wanted to know, why didn't his daddy want him, or why didn't his mother want him? So you don't understand if you've never had to walk through those paths. And if you haven't had to walk through those paths and you've had a pretty good childhood, a decent childhood, don't be so quick to tell people whose childhood was tarnished that they should get over it because that happened when they were kids. When you're a kid, that is the foundation of your life. Listen to me, somebody here. The foundation of your life, the way you think, the way your motor skills, the way you react, the way you respond to things, all take place in the foundation of your childhood. Don't blame the child. So you have some 35, 40-year-old people, 50 and 60-year-old people who have yet to heal from things that happened to them when they were children, and they carried these things over in some cases to their own children. They end up raising their children the way they were raised, or they went in a complete opposite direction, and after that they may have even alienated themselves from their family. They're probably loners. They're probably out there. This is why I caution people to be careful of taking things at face value, looking at people making a judgment on how they act, because you don't know what happened to them that pushed them to that point. And you can't push them to the point to where they want to grow up, because maybe growing up in certain areas is too painful for them to do. That's a grown person dealing with things that happened to them when they were kids. In my heart, that's just my prayer today, because I'm feeling like during this whole thing, this quarantine thing, a lot of people that I know, a lot of people that I lead, guide, or whatever, are experiencing pains from the past. They're experiencing some things, and people just don't quite understand why they are acting the way they act. Get to know people, ask them some questions, and therefore you can gain an understanding as to why they respond the way they respond and why they act the way they act. And by all means, it's some things that really don't have an answer. Sometimes the answer is not necessary. Sometimes the ear and the listening and the understanding is what's necessary, the compassion. So today, if you're that child, that adult child, face the issues. I'm not telling you, and I will never tell you to get over it, but I will tell you, don't let it control you for the rest of your life. Things happened to you for a reason, not that it is a good reason, but you're going to grow from it. You're going to bounce back from it today. And for those of you that have had a great upbringing, have a little bit more compassion for people that did not grow up as good as you did. You don't have a reason to throw temper tantrums and whatever else. Maybe you do, but I'm just saying, but have more compassion for people that didn't have it as good as you had it growing up. All right? God bless.